What is up everybody, 30 here, and this time we're gonna talk about our top 10 upcoming single-player games of 2019. Arranged by release dates, we're starting with Metro Exodus. The nuclear winter is fast approaching. Deep Silver's underrated first-person shooter is ready to show off the best things of post-apocalyptic Russia again. Taking place years after Last Light, the game no longer restricts you in the underground metro. For the first time in the series, every major activity happens in the barren streets of Moscow and beyond. Artyom returns as the game's original protagonist. He continues his search for a new home inside the irradiated wasteland. In the search for a sanctuary for humanity, fend off mutated creatures and use any means of survival to stay alive. With this new entry, the game improves with their new loadout and backpack system. Players can freely customize their guns on the fly. Its first-person shooter combat is completely revamped and it's slick as ever. We can't wait. Wear your gas mask, collect military-grade rounds, and get ready for the biggest Metro game to date. It comes out this 15th of February on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
You made a mistake coming here. I surrender!
Far Cry New Dawn, an apt title for Far Cry's post-apocalyptic continuation to their recent 5th installment. Set 17 years after the events of Far Cry 5, we'll be taken back to Hope County that looks unrecognizable from what we've seen before. Not only does it have a splash of color with its nuclear super bloom, but we'll also get to witness an empowering takeover with the two leads being female people of color, an answer perhaps to the previous game's controversial themes. As one of the series' first direct sequels in a while, some are worried that this upcoming entry will feel more like an expansion than an all-new title. There will be familiar sights and faces along the way, but there's also plenty of new things ahead like weapon crafting, and an expedition mode that adds variety to the gameplay. It also looks like they're making up for having to leave Boomer with the new feature that lets you bring along your dogs for the ride. It's a fresh look at a familiar location. It's set to release on the 15th of next month.
It's like a 1 square kilometer by 1 square kilometer, so it's very large. All are totally unique. Because these maps are separated from the open world, we don't have the same constraints. So for instance, we can put way more enemies. So the experience is much more intense.
There they are! Not today!
The exciting thing for us is that given that the world is so much more chaotic now in this landscape, we could really take that intensity and really kick things up a notch in terms of how far people are willing to go to survive.
Devil May Cry 5. 11 years after Devil May Cry 4's release, Capcom's love child returns to their critically acclaimed hack-and-slash franchise. Continuing the events after Nero and Dante's story in 4, they work together once again to uncover a mystery that could change their lives forever. Nero, Dante, and the rest of the demon-slaying gang will team up to quell this mysterious new threat. Featuring a more stylish hack-and-slash combat system, DMC5 is not holding back with its fluid animations and insane details. Even the graphics compared to the games coming out last year, it's goddamn great. It really feels like a culmination of the series since 2001. And yes, that includes Devil May Cry 2. For the first time in the series, the game features 3 playable characters with their own unique story and abilities. Dante will be all about the ridiculous combat, especially with his devil arms, and Nero, however, will use his demonic power arm to tear his enemies apart. And let's not forget the mysterious character V, who will let demons fight by his side. It comes out this March 8th on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
I have no name. I am but 2 days old. Just kidding. You can call me V. Did you find it?
Oh, well, I don't know what I found, but I think I saw some demons dancing.
Well, then I guess we keep going. The Devil's Sword Sparta is nearby.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, a game that comes straight from the studios of the genre-defining hits Bloodborne and Dark Souls. From Software veers away from their dark gothic landscapes and slips into something closer to their hearts. This upcoming game rounds up everything the West loves about Japan, such as samurais, ninjas, and katana-wielding heroes. It manages to combine into one authentic package. And our badass main character Sekiro will be a prosthetically armed shinobi as he goes on a quest for vengeance. Aside from the lack of character customizations, what makes this game different from previous titles is the focus on mobility, with grappling abilities that bridge the gap between locations and enemies, making for some immersive stealth sequences. How about that? From Software also hosts a single-player experience with some tweaked boss fights that will encourage players to use the many skills and combat techniques on offer. It's set to release on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One this March 22nd.
Quickly and find different areas, different mini bosses to take on almost immediately.
It also showed off how the different enemy types can kind of work in tandem better than they have in other games. So we fought sort of a mini boss, and we were also being attacked by archers and regular enemies.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about that is there's actually a strategic aspect added by those minis, the smaller things than the bosses, because you can use those to replenish your stock of lives by killing them, which is really cool and adds to the whole death mechanic, resurrection mechanic, all that stuff is really crazy. And there's also mutant roosters.
Yeah.
Days Gone. Does a PS4 exclusive about a zombie-ridden post-apocalypse sound familiar? Well, getting a lot of comparisons to the massively successful Last of Us series, Sony's upcoming survival action adventure is hoping to break new ground in what many feel like an oversaturated genre. Well, luckily for them, Days Gone doesn't sweat the comparisons though. Days Gone shows off their living, breathing, and interactive open world as it features a soft-hearted biker surviving a Pacific Northwest riddled with fast-moving freakers. Also, the voice acting of Sam Witwer from Detroit Become Human and Star Wars Rebels adds so much to the character of John St. Deacon. It's easily one of the best features of the game. And let's not forget, it's not a linear experience. Its stealth mechanic seemingly lets players survive on their own terms. As a biker, you get to have your own bike, of course, which you can upgrade and repair using scraps from the environment. But sadly, it got delayed to make way for other games. So let's get a taste of zombie carnage once it comes out on the PlayStation 4 this April 26.
Damn it.
Rage 2. Even though Bethesda's got plenty of award-winning FPS games under their belt, the return of this open-world shooter is a welcome development. Created through the collaboration of Avalanche Studios and id Software, Rage 2 is pulling out all the stops in terms of reckless destruction, vehicular action, and satisfying shooting. Whew. As more and more games pivot towards online multiplayer, Rage meanwhile puts all their focus on providing an excellent single-player experience. Set 30 years after the first game, the post-apocalypse is radiating with new life. Seeing through the eyes of Walker, get your hands on some freakish radioactive powers and participate in the many delights of an open-world game that ramps up the immersion with a seamless, loading screenless experience. Fusing the madness of Mad Max, Doom, Quake, and Just Cause, Rage 2 has got some big shoes to fill, but we're hoping they deliver the goods as it releases on May 14 on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Biomutant. Looks like colorful post-apocalypse settings are on an upward trend in the video game world. Swedish studio Experiment 101 is joining the flock with this action RPG title. Where some games focus on brash personalities and Cronenberg-style mutations, Biomutant takes a more subtle direction with their fable-like anthropomorphism. Center the journey of one raccoon-like animal, and the game shines a spotlight on the details of their combat mechanics using his martial arts techniques. Not only will you get to customize the character and its fighting styles, players will also get to choose their weapons, guns included, as well as the biomechanical technologies that their world makes available. These personalized skill sets will come in useful in the game's many unpredictable environments. Poring over the finer points of long-range shooting and close combat martial arts, Biomutant ensures smooth and stylish fighting whichever style you choose. Jump into their many branching storylines when it releases this summer on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Made that one dead.
The Outer Worlds. Bethesda, you take notes. The OG creators of the fan-favorite Fallout New Vegas comes back with their very own version of a better first-person RPG set in a science fiction world. Obsidian Entertainment takes matters into their own hands to make a true RPG experience. Set in the far future where space colonies are a thing, lead your character into an adventure of a lifetime. Instead of finding your missing son, make tough choices that will determine your course of the story. If everything works well, it might be the next big thing since New Vegas. But unfortunately, we're running low on details as of the moment. But as expected from Obsidian, it's gonna be one hell of a ride as players go deeper into the vastness of space. Considering it's an RPG, players not only make their own choices, they also give you options to make your own base, build companion stories, and choose your own ending. We can't wait for this one as it comes out sometime this 2019 on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Kill shot. So there's your weapon wheel. So now you got like a scythe that's dripping stuff. That's cool. Yeah.
Was there dismemberments? I feel like there was earlier.
I don't recall any. There could have been.
Control. Remedy Entertainment's latest IP after their success with their major games like Alan Wake. Remedy continues with their tried and tested third-person formula in Control. If Quantum Break uses time to manipulate the battlefield, Control plays with the environment through the use of telekinesis. Set in a world where an otherworldly threat rampages around New York, your job is to quarantine a mysterious supernatural presence with the use of your power. Improving upon their seamless third-person combat, Remedy doesn't just let you levitate objects at will. Control lets you equip guns and other loadouts for some sweet gameplay twist. As of the moment, not much details are shown though, but its gameplay trailers are enough to keep us pumped. We can't wait for this game to come out on the PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, but unfortunately, no release date yet.
This is a pretty powerful enemy and takes a lot of hits to bring him down. This isn't technically a boss battle. There are going.
Before we reveal our next game, you can check out our complete list of upcoming games this 2019 on our website, whatoplay.com. Links are provided on the top right corner here and the description box below. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. When was the last time you shed a tear in a Metroidvania game? Celeste was insane, but who could forget our beloved forest spirit? Ori's magical adventures continue in this exciting sequel. It's a platforming adventure that takes inspiration from Miyazaki's magic. The original title has been unanimously praised for its ethereal atmosphere that gives justice to its mythical tale. Going back to their enchanted forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisp feels like a dream. Help the forest creatures rebuild their home after a mysterious sickness plagued the land. Ori returns with new combat maneuvers under his belt, like hookshots, borrowing skills, rolls, and as well as the return of Bash. With this much range in melee and projectile attacks, players can have more personalized adventures depending on their playstyles. It's coming out on the PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, but there's no release date yet. And those were the top 10 upcoming single-player games of 2019. If you love this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to become a certified whatoplayer. That's it guys, thank you and goodbye.